All right, peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. This is episode 107, titled Coach Ferber. What's good, baby? So good to see you, man. Welcome back to the East Coast. You know, before we get into it, we got to pay a couple bills. Shout out to our proud sponsor and affiliate, Tees Hanley. We got our, PM face wash, our AM face wash, our body scrub, our face scrub that we use twice a week, and we got our daily wash. Fellas, you gotta wash your face. It's extra important.
Wash your face, gentlemen.
Wash your face, especially us athletes. We got a hat on. We always touching our face, got glasses, sunscreen, all of that. You gotta take care of your face. It's very important. As you can see, the man takes care of his face.
I tried a little cup of tea tree oil, some eucalyptus.
Absolutely.
I like that kind of stuff anyway. The two things I shop for, honestly, Zoe, I like shopping for cologne, and I like shopping for types of, but cologne and any kind of cleansers and things.
Yeah, self-care is the best care, as they say.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So before we get into it, a lot of us know who Coach Ferber is, but a lot of us don't. But I want to give you your flowers first, though.
Okay.
CJ, love that guy. Great person that always brings a great time with him. Appreciate everything you do, Ferbs. We got my man Turn to Pinheiro, saying JP. Is there anywhere in Cali that has a fire bacon, egg, and cheese, or is NYC way too valid to compare? Right? We got my man Crazy Legs. Josh Palacios. I reached out to some people. I know some people.
Yes. Now, hold on. I got to make sure I say thank you to CJ and also to Pinheiro.
Yes.
There is no bacon and cheese like y'all. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Stay right here.
You move your mic a little closer.
You got it.
There you go. So, Ferbs, what's good? It's Crazy Legs. Just want to say the streets appreciate you constantly ending the drought. The good energy and vibes you bring on a day-to-day basis, the authenticity you bring to a place crowded with fake love, and all the crispy seeds you caught us hitting on video, LOL. Keep being you, my guy. We miss you back in NYC.
Appreciate you, P-Lo. Crazy.
Got my man, Big Dog Baseball.
Big Dog, Clark Wright.
My man, Clark.
My
You know
guy.
what I'm saying? When you walk around with Ferbs, he makes his players feel like they are in the league. He has a type of swag and energy. Without him even coaching them, they just from being around him, just coaching them, just being around him makes his players, coaches better. He's a true animal, my dog for life.
Appreciate you, Clark. That's my guy right there.
Got my guy Quaz.
Quaz?
Thank you for teaching me things in the game I didn't know as a young cat. Continue being you and always bet on black.
Always bet on black. I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Washington.
Interviewing CJ, I got this idea, when I can interview guys that I'm close to, reach out to a couple people, send them a message. I had some other people, but they didn't, busy, didn't get back to me. And I DM'd a couple people. But, we'll have a part 2. This actually, WTF Media Studios is also in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So we might have to take a visit someday.
Out there, man.
But hey, introduce yourself to the world.
Well, I'm Jason Ferber. On Instagram, I'm Coach Ferber. But Jason Ferber's my name. And we met, I don't know, maybe close to 6-7 years ago. I think over at the original Turn 2 Fitness, which was a different facility that CJ was working at. Until we met, I think CJ was the connection. You were working out there, going back and forth to either Austria, was it?
Yep,
Austria.
Yes, sir.
And I always respected your grind from the first time I met you, because that's when you got your nickname.
Yeah.
He was in there every day. I noticed like your work ethic inside there was crazy.
Yeah, just getting to it, bro. I'm an older guy at the time, 25, 26. So it was just like I worked. So it was like I just went in there to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's where you got the nickname Strahan.
Yeah,
like Strahan. That's
I loved it. I loved it. Part of my left.
The guy would be dripping sweat. Everybody else getting their work in, and you would be in there dripping sweat, doing crazy stuff with med balls. I said, man, this dude is on his grind right here.
Yeah, I wanted it.
You can't fake that.
No, I wanted it. I didn't play much in college, had some injuries, when I got an opportunity. And, it wasn't for much money, but I just needed to get my foot in the door. And God always gives you the resources and the tools that you need. And CJ came into my life through mutual friends. Shout out to Sep Johnny. And, you know, the South Bronx is far from that facility, but I was there every day, you know, hour and 30-minute train ride, and still went to work, 2 jobs, you know. So I just wanted it, you know, and I had to get it done.
It's crazy. The names you mentioned are the people that were just talking back and forth with Quas and Pilo and Clark Wright and Jonathan Pinero and CJ. You look at the way that people attract, the energies that they attract, and it has nothing to do with race. There's white guys in there, there's black guys in there, there's Puerto Rican guys, Jewish guys, Italian guys. The attraction has nothing to do with what people look like or where they come from.
Yeah.
There is a common ground. Everybody loves baseball.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. It's the vibe that people like being around. And if you can keep up the pace with the positive energy, that every one of those guys, they're all highly positive people.
Yes.
Every one of them walk
one.
around with a little bounce in their step. Nobody mopes. Not one of those guys. And they all of them have a lot of challenges. From Josh trying to get back and forth from the big leagues to AAA, there's a lot of pressure. His whole entire city is on his back.
Yeah.
And his younger brother Richie too. Those guys, when you take that on that kind of responsibility and people put a lot of faith in you, and there's so many people actually wishing for your downfall, and you still rise above.
You still rise above it.
There's and some guys have the athletic ability and the talent and the support network and everything to do that. Other guys, somewhere along the way, trip up, whatever it is. Those guys not reaching the end goal end up still, because of the energy they provide, getting into all different facets of life, staying within the game, but still and adding value to the whole entire community.
Yeah.
But all of those guys, man, it's crazy. They all come from different walks of life, and they found each other just through that network.
And I feel like that's what I was telling CJ during his episode. He does an incredible job with the environment. You know, like you feel good in there. Like you want to put in work.
Yeah.
And for all the guys, the older guys that train with CJ, everybody knows I hold guys accountable for finish your core. I know that core is at the end for a reason. But you see dudes, yo, let's go swing. Nah, finish that core. You would see dudes swinging, and I'm finishing my core.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to walk the talk and hold guys accountable. And
what I love about CJ's culture is that, you know, if you go into a gym and you lift the most, you're the biggest, you look the best, and you lift the most, and you're repping 225, and everybody around you is repping 165. If that's where the environment that you're in, everybody's like, yo, he's the god. You know what I mean? You're probably not going to work out with much more than 225. You're going to probably hang there and feel good and still be working good. But if you go to a place where everybody's working out with 265, and that's just a random number.
Yeah, no, but that
probably not.
There's numbers being put up in that gym.
Yeah, you're not going to be deadlifting that light amount of weight when everybody around you is a dog and everybody's lifting that kind of weight. You see it around you, like, well, is that what I'm supposed? If I'm supposed to do that, then I just fall in line, and that's when iron sharpens iron. You know, that's what CJ's place is like that.
Yeah,
young guys. I love that he has the young guys and all the way up through it.
All the way up.
Welcome.
Everybody sees everybody working. You know, and it's beautiful to see. So, how's fatherhood treating you?
Fatherhood's, man, it honestly was life changing for me, and everybody says that. Sounds so cliche.
Yeah.
Hate that, man. The whole bottom line is everything that you valued before, all the things that you used to spend time on, hobbies, things you enjoyed, seem to take a backseat.
Yeah.
And so it's no matter what, if you're really gonna step up and take care of responsibility and do it that way, the way you do it. Yeah. The way I try and do it, you're gonna sacrifice something, and you're gonna definitely learn patience. Yeah. That's one thing you will learn for 100%. Yeah. There's nothing else because you can easily scrap any other thing you do in life. If something comes your way, you can either go, I'm done with that, or I'm gonna pursue it. And you have every day you have an opportunity to do that. But this is not. This is the first time for me, maybe a dog, an animal on a smaller scale. It's like, no, I have to take care of this thing. But I can still leave this dog alone for 6, 7, 8 hours of time, or I can let somebody else watch him, or I can do this. With a kid, that's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. So I feel really grateful that I was able to do it, and I waited for a while. I mean, I was 43 when I had a kid, rather than being in my 20s. Yeah. And we were talking about that before. I'm not sure that it would have went the same way for me. Yeah. Same person, but different times of your life, different things are important to you. Yeah. You know? And if the important thing is going to chase money and girls, or if the important thing is going to hang out at the club or do this or run a nightclub or whatever it is,
Yeah.
then the other things might take a backseat to what
Yeah.
it is. So I'm happy that I got a chance to, spend some time with my wife, travel, do some things before we had a kid,
Yeah.
and never waited a long time, and probably would have been okay at the time.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm okay with not having a kid. I coach. I got 20 kids around
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, you got
I
mad
coach
kids.
them.
You got mad ballers.
Yeah, I treat them.
Yeah.
all. I try to treat them all like my son.
Yeah.
As far as being honest with them, trying to build their confidence up. All the things that you try to do with young kids.
Young kids,
try
yeah.
to look at life a little bit different. Look at the game a little bit different. Show gratitude and appreciate things a little bit different. Not be entitled. Don't chase clout. These are the type of things that I try to focus on mostly with my guys, and it's been fun to watch with the baby. I'm sure you do it with Hendrix.
Yeah.
And I think watching babies not just be from a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
When he was just a sack of potatoes, just he's just sitting there. It's cool. It's great, but then you see, him start to his eyes and look at you, and you watch all the little tiny things and how they start to crawl, get up, and you got to walk and bend over and help them do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Man, it's wild.
It is wild, and every day is different. No one day is the same with a child. Like
Different challenges.
I just became daddy. I was Dada 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And from one day it was daddy. I was like, wait, what'd you say? He was like, daddy. I was like, oh, I was so hyped,
Yeah.
And shout out to all the present dads, like being able to just be there for those moments. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. So your son is gonna see this someday. So you got to give him a shout out.
My boy Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Yes, sir.
I love you, and greatest thing that ever happened to me. And some people say, is it meeting your wife or is it the baby? What's the best thing? You better be careful answering that question.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that my wife would also agree that the baby was the most important thing, because that's what actually shows the two of you. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of
The meeting point.
yeah, that's where it's at. And neither of us, I don't think, would be so mad to say.
Yeah.
Now, right after the baby being born, meeting your wife and your partner, whoever you're going to spend the rest of your life with, that's an important decision. And for anybody that's out there, man, that's a real big one.
Yeah.
Way more important than what style of hitting you want to practice or how you want to throw a baseball.
Yeah.
Find a really, really good partner in life.
Yeah.
Hopefully one, I chose one that's a lot smarter than me, book smarts.
Yeah.
I chose one that had a master's degree in business,
Yeah.
because I don't even have a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
I was out here hustling, just grinding, trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
right? I had common sense, street smart. She not from that type of environment. She's more super polished, real civilized, often tells me like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
It's a good balance.
Yeah.
It's a good balance.
I never went anywhere before I met her. She took me all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as trying to think about, where we grow up, you don't think, I want to go to Croatia.
Bingo.
Who says that?
Who says that?
And nobody in any neighborhood that I know and I was from Coney Island. That's where I grew up. I was born in 77, so it was like early 80s, crack era, breakdancing just was coming out. Rocksteady Crew and Crazy Legs. That's Pilo's name and all that, right? Guys, graffiti artists. All that stuff, and guys were not thinking about. Nobody ever said that.
Nobody.
Hey, maybe we should go to take a trip to Israel and see the motherland.
Yeah.
Now, there were guys that I think, once I started to see other places and go, I didn't take a trip, I don't think, out of the country until I was about 35 or 36.
Wow.
Then I ended up going to Paris, Costa Rica, Croatia, Israel, Egypt. I saw the pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah.
these are all things. And every time I went to a new place, it was like this whole new world. Man, people really live like this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Exposure, bro.
Crazy.
Exposure.
And you start appreciating the things you have more, and you go, wow, just wild things you see when you travel, and it really helps open your mind up. And I think also the communication aspect of it, I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think that one piece, if you have feel when it comes to communicating with people, I would put a strong argument up to say that having feel for different situations and being able to talk to different people and get them to like you, or you like them, like make a connection somehow. That may be the one single most important skill, even more than having a degree in something.
Yeah.
Because you can get a degree in something and mess that up. I believe
absolutely.
you can get a degree in one area, go in and find out this isn't even anything I want to do.
Yeah.
But I believe if you have feel for certain situations and you have that one piece down, you can, if two guys with the same level of education, let's just say, right, go into a job interview, and one of them has feel and one of them doesn't, I think the guy gets with the feel that goes, man, this is a pretty easy back and forth conversation. This guy seems like a guy I want to be around.
Yeah, he's a solid guy. And most of interviews are going to be about current events. Like, you got to be in tune. And people want, does this guy fit into the culture, of this workspace or even this team? Right. And you can see that from talking to someone. So you can have all the accolades, but if you can't talk to someone and hold a conversation, what does it mean? Yeah.
The thing that I found out the most when I was traveling, I couldn't speak English to people. Yeah. Was a smile goes a long way. Yeah. And when you try, even if you botch the whole language up and do it miserably, but instead of just being some stubborn American and just go, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, speak English.
Yeah, instead of doing that, looking in a book and saying, well, how do you say hello here? Yeah. How do you say, how much is this? Yeah. Pay for something. I don't even know. I'm trusting you with the money from the currency here. I don't even know how much it is. You could be robbing me right now. Yeah. But I think that's when the energy really comes in. You see it, and you give somebody a genuine smile in another country. Yeah. They say, well, you know what? This guy's at least trying a little bit. Yeah. He says hello and
can appreciate that.
That's easy enough. Anybody can learn hello and thank you in another language. That's not that hard. Learning to be fluent in the language is different.
It's different, yeah.
But the thing I wanted to just tell you about the communication part of it is that I think from a baseball coaching aspect, because I know we'll talk about coaching a little bit too. Yeah. When I first started, and I think it's easy for a lot of people to look at a social media page and judge somebody off of the last post that they made on whatever it was.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe me and you did a segment on something. You posted it, and somebody said, "Well, I didn't like that segment at all, so I don't like this guy." Yeah. If you want to judge somebody off of one post, then you're probably going to miss out on a lot of stuff of a guy's personality and the whole thing. Now, because people see the end result. Wow, it's a lot of followers. It's like this 155,000 followers of people, seeing what kind of baseball material is going to put out or whatever it is. But they didn't, when I had one follower, no, excuse me. I had 14 followers to start. That was just my baseball team. Yeah. 14. It started with 14 kids on a team. Yeah. And before that, the communication aspect I was talking about how it was so important is people see, me working with high-level players, pros, big league guys, big league all-stars, and putting it out there, and people go, man, that's crazy, that's cool. Yeah. Some people like it, some guys hate on it. Yeah. I don't know, right? Some people like everything, and some people hate on everything. Yeah. But they didn't see me in the park with some Dominican kids that didn't speak English, that just got here from DR. Before all this started, before the Instagram page, they didn't see me in the park trying to figure out how to communicate with kids that were all Spanish speaking, and my Spanish is very bad. Yeah. I mean, very bad. Yeah. And I was working with a couple of kids, not charging them a dime, literally just messing around in the park, doing drills, trying to figure out how to help kids swings. Yeah. There was a couple of kids from the neighborhood that would come down. There was a guy that ran a fruit stand, on 4th Avenue in Brooklyn. And he came from DR, and he actually said, I got one of my boys coming in from DR. He doesn't speak English. He was like 12 years old at the time. You think you work with him? He saw me working with another kid.
Yeah.
So that kid came, then his friend came, and we started messing around. And when you don't speak the language and you're trying to actually work with players, because a lot of times coaches try to sound really smart, and they talk in big words, and they use words like posture and tilt and rotational, torque, whatever you want to talk about. And when nobody understands anything you're saying about any of those words, what are you left with?
Yeah.
Right? I can't sound smart anymore. It doesn't matter how much I researched. Doesn't matter how much I know about a particular topic.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if I studied kinesiology.
Yeah.
And I know all the movements of the biomechanical thing to make it right. Doesn't know if I have all the knowledge.
Yep.
I can't communicate it. So now what? So does that kid now, if I say, well, I just don't work with those kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna eliminate an entire group of people just because I don't want to figure out and adapt to, well, why do I have to talk?
Yeah.
Why can't I touch his hip or the back of his shoulder? Or do it visually and look how he's executing the drill, or look at a video with him and say, you see this? It can be done.
Yeah.
With a amount of time and effort. Or I can just go, no, I don't care. I just got to talk to somebody that speaks my language, that looks at me and goes, oh, wow, yeah.
So this was a question that was going to come later on, but it fits right here. How would you define a good private lesson?
A good private lesson is one that definitely not a situation. Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not what a good private lesson is somebody meeting somebody for one time, saying, here's $60 or $100. My kid wants to learn how to swing a bat better, hit better, and somebody doing whatever drills they choose to do for an hour, and then leaving and never seeing them again.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's not it.
That's called a transactional relationship.
Yeah.
That's called, I'm giving you money for a service. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the transaction. Then we go to transformational. Transactional and transformational, those are really the only two type of relationships that people have.
Yeah.
Transformational actually may start out as a transaction. A lot of them do.
Yeah.
But they change into something over time. They change into something different. It starts out with me giving you money, but then it goes, wow, I really like working with this guy. Yeah. Why do I like working with him? I don't know. I want to find out more, though. He seems like a good guy, and he's actually connecting with my son, and my son's looking at him differently than he's looked at all these other guys. Yeah. Why is that? Well, because the kids, no matter what age they are, they can feel that. Yeah. They know if I'm just going, hey, good work. Yep. Hey, stay behind it. Hey, you got to barrel that. Keep it in the middle of the field. Yeah. If I'm just flipping balls like that and doing that, they go, well, what's the big deal? Yeah. Right? If I'm actively looking and searching for ways to help them, I'll give you even a step further. Even if I'm wrong. Yeah. Even if I'm wrong with the way that I'm trying to approach it, but they see that I'm really trying to help them. Yeah. And it's going to be a transformation relationship over time if they're consistent with it. And if I, as the coach, am willing to say 3 words, I'll be a really good coach. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. If I can just say those words, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know. The kid says, what am I doing? What am I doing here in this situation? Right? What am I doing here that I keep on popping the ball up? Right? If I have the ability as a coach to say, I don't know, but let me research that for you. I'm gonna contact all my network of people. I'm gonna show them all your video. Yeah. The 4 or 5 guys that I trust about hitting. Yeah. We're all gonna look at your video. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just spit something back out at you and say, oh, you need to do this or this or this, and it's gonna fix it. Yeah. Because anybody with any, I think, real knowledge of a certain type of subject, you know, my family's half Jewish. Yeah. So you always see this when you talk to a rabbi. Yeah. Right? You talk to a rabbi about, if it's a good rabbi, you talk to him about something going on, challenge in your life. Yeah. Man, I got a situation with my wife. I don't know what to do. I'm not trying to get a divorce, but I got major problems right now. This is not my story. I'm just saying, this is an example. The rabbi, when you tell them this problem and you say, what do you suggest? Good ones don't go, oh, you need to go like this and you need to do this and do this. They don't do that. They wait. Stroke their beard a little bit, that long beard.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
the wizard. Because they're processing it and they're trying to figure out and they're trying to use their experience and knowledge. They're not just trying to spit something back out at you so that you you go, okay, cool. Like so that's the thing that I really what I would say the most important part about having a good hour lesson is that the kid comes out of it and he remembers at least one really valuable piece of information.
Yeah.
That when he gets in the car, he's excited to talk about what had just happened.
Mm-hmm.
If the kid gets back in the car on the way home and he's not excited about what just happened, I don't think it was really a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first one.
Not the first one, yeah.
Because I don't think coaches generally ask the questions enough of, are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying your baseball experience?
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of coaches that ask that question when a kid comes in for a lesson.
Yeah.
Some do, maybe. I don't. Are you waking up passionate every day and driven?
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up in the morning, are you driven and passionate about getting better?
Yeah.
I didn't really have coaches ask me that.
Yeah.
I never really had coaches ask me that question. They expected me to perform.
Yeah.
When it's nothing makes you listen to what I say, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, yes, sir. But they never really, I don't believe. Now, one when I was real young, I believe genuinely cared about me. He gave me rides.
Yeah.
I had no glove. My family was on welfare. He gave me my first glove, and he said, "I'll take you to practice, and you can play with me, with the team, but you're gonna have to come early to the field with me, and you're gonna have to help me mow the grass if it needs to be mowed, chalk the line, right, clean up, throw bottles away." And at the time when I was 8 or 9 years old, that didn't seem like something that I wanted to do.
Yes.
I would look around and say, why is it just me and Coach Meyer out here?
Yeah.
Nobody else. I'm the only guy here. Because he would come and pick me up because I didn't have a ride from my mother or father to go to the field. Mm-hmm. So at the time, I didn't like it because I was the only kid out there and I felt like I was the one, like, what am I doing? Everybody else gets to show up when they want to show up. Yeah. I was there hours early. But during that time, now I look back at it, and he was drafted by the Mets. He went to Vietnam. He got drafted actually to go to Vietnam and was drafted by the Mets too. Had to go hit by a grenade in the side of his leg or his hip, and had to basically he became just a coach. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he had really good knowledge, knew the game real well, and he was downloading all this information to me. Yeah. You know, as about just the game and being grateful for what the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So that's, I think. Yeah.
So what would you say your first baseball memory is?
My first baseball memory is more of I think a stickball memory, playing with my uncles. Yeah. And my brother. I lived in Seagate, which was right inside, it's at the tip of Coney Island. Yeah. And you would come, I would go to PS 188. You had to walk out. There was a big gate that cuts off the end of Neptune Avenue. Yeah. All the way at the this most southern tip of Brooklyn, right there, right? And there was a triangle inside the neighborhood where it was kind of cut like this, and set up stickball games. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's probably why I fell in love with the whole concept of it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also being able to, when you don't have a lot of money, you don't have nice clothes, and you're a young kid and you're trying to find out who you are. Yeah. And you try to hang with different groups of people. Yeah. Try to check out different things, little cultures of people. Mm-hmm. Saying, I was a pretty good dancer. I could break dance. I could pop and lock a little bit. Yeah. I tried the whole breakdancing thing, but I wasn't really good at it. Yeah, I was okay. Mm-hmm. I could keep a beat. I could look funky. I could dance with a girl. No problem, like most guys. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? If you saw me on a dance floor in the middle of a nightclub, I would say above average.
Above average?
I would say above average when it comes to, just grooving.
Yeah.
Right? Now, but not elite.
Not elite.
When you go into a nightclub, there's always a couple, one that steals the show.
Oh, yeah.
Usually you see, like you go to a salsa club, everybody's moving and they're like, okay, you can be out here. Some people you're like, man, you need to just stop.
Go have some
Go have a
punch.
drink, man, and just let these other people take care of it. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's always one that kind of steals the show.
Yeah, it look like they got choreography going, they practice.
Yeah, but either they've been dancing for years
or
they're
the
just
feel.
both really good. They got a lot of feel. Right? So, but I liked the idea of competing and entertaining.
Yeah.
I liked that whole idea when I was young.
Yeah.
Everything. And so I had a couple of friends, guys who do graffiti. I was not I'm not good at art. I'm not. I didn't have artwork and painting. Anything that had to do with that, wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
Couldn't draw really well.
So where did you find comfort?
I found comfort in the wiffle ball and stickball games because just being picked up in a neighborhood game, it's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling.
You know what I mean? It's a good feeling when you don't get picked last.
Yeah.
And some guys, some kids, I think when they get picked last in a neighborhood game, they can't face the embarrassment or whatever, so they just quit. They go, well, this ain't meant for me. Yeah. Other guys, other guys say, you know what? I'm gonna go practice. If they say you're not good enough to be out here right now, if I want to be involved, then I need to go grind.
Put in some time.
And if I put in practice, even if I come back next week, maybe I'll pick first, but maybe I'm not picked last. Maybe I'll pick second or third from last the next time I come out. And that feeling of confidence and actually when I'm not lying to myself and saying I'm gonna go get my work in.
Yeah.
That's when you say I'm gonna go practice today, that's my intention, and you don't go practice, that chips away at your confidence. Right, Zoe?
Yeah, that's a fact. So this was a question for a later time.
Okay.
But this fits right here.
Which one?
So is it cap or are most players on social media actually working hard?
I think a lot of it's cap. I think a lot of it is. I think a lot of it is clout chasing.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the players themselves. I don't blame the young kids.
Yeah.
Because God knows that I was not, my brain was not functioning the way it should be, focused on the things that it should be at that age myself. So I know and I understand. But I think a lot of kids out there feel invisible.
Yeah.
They do. There's a whole generation of young males of all races that feel pretty invisible. Yeah. Because when you look at who you see on social media, it's not really, when you go look at it, it's like usually rappers, athletes, celebrities, occasionally girls with bikinis. Yeah. You see those type of pictures of just scrolling everybody's
everything is glamorous.
You see some funny stuff here and there if that's what you search or whatever it is, but you don't really see 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, the normal, average, everyday kid. Yeah. You don't see them. No. Right? Male. Yeah. And so I think that in their mind, in a lot of their minds, they think, well, that's the point. I have to be seen. Right? That's my goal, is I want to be seen, because if I want to get the good-looking girl, then I need to get the Ferrari. Yeah. I need to be able to sign a pro contract. I need to be the man. Yeah. So I'm going to post all of my accomplishments, right, in a way that makes you look at me different. Yeah. You don't see kids posting their report card on social media, do you?
Slice of excellence, we trade report cards for pizza, the vibe. So,
but who else does that? Like random kids that you would see from normal Facebookers that aren't connected with you. No. Why is that? Because it's not cool.
It's not cool. Yeah.
It's not cool. To go, everybody says, hey man, I just got ranked second, PBR, perfect game, just ranked me second in my whole state. I want to thank PBR. That's the soft flex, right? Yeah. I want to thank PBR for this great thing. I want to thank you for ranking me. Yeah. Right? I don't want to show you that I'm being ranked. I'm going to thank you for ranking me. For ranking me. Okay, thank you, right? Yeah. So you put it out there, but what about the kid that's got the 4.2 GPA that was grinding?
That's fly too.
He had a 3.0 GPA or a 2.6, And he just said, he snapped out of it. And he said, you know what? I don't care what happens. I want to go be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer, and nobody's stopping me.
Yeah.
And I get the 4.3 GPA with all these AP classes and everything. You think he's gonna post that? Hell no.
Hell no.
Because everybody go, man, get that out of here. Nobody cares about that. You're a clown. Put a bunch of clown emojis on.
Yeah, nerd. Yeah.
So that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Now there are some kids that do it right, and I try to tell my guys, you really need to watch what you not only what you post, but what you consume.
Yes.
I mean, people see what you search.
Yeah.
And forget about other people, about yourself.
Yeah.
If I am just consuming bad stuff,
Yeah.
images of just random things that have nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
If all of my feed is big booty hoes of Instagram,
Yeah.
what is that doing for my mind?
Yeah.
And also, but I don't think there's been a lot of studies I read about that people say like it's a short term, you're trying to get to a pleasure point, just like drugs. There is a little aspect of that.
Yeah.
Is it like smoking crack? No. Is it like shooting heroin? No, it's not that. I'm not trying to blow it out of proportion.
Yeah.
But you're hitting the sensor of your brain that says pleasure.
Yeah.
When I flip my phone open, when I open a book for school, right? If I open a book for school, that pleasure, that's not hitting my pleasure spot in my brain.
Yeah.
That's hitting my I gotta get this done. Shit.
Yeah.
Now, if I flip YouTube on and I go look at my favorite thing of what's going on, that's let's go. Okay. What? Yeah. Right?
That was crazy.
So now, all the natural amount, if I wasn't looking at the phone before we had phones,
Yeah.
if I'm not looking at that and I don't even have that available, now the pleasure sensors and all the endorphins that are in my brain, they're still in there.
Yeah.
I have to find something else to focus on.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be an electrical device.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, oh man, what do I enjoy? I enjoy collecting baseball cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so my pleasure sense, I'm getting up today, I'm going to the little baseball card shop. I'm wheeling and dealing with the guy. Hey man, I only got $1.25, but if you give me that Reggie Jackson, right?
Yeah.
You're doing business now. Now you're learning things about life.
Yeah.
You're doing things without doing, if I'm looking at the phone and I'm just getting, you only have so many. I think people think that it's endless. Like brain cells, I don't think it is. I think that you have a certain amount of endorphins, and when you drain those out, sometimes you can get depressed.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's a pretty logical. I don't think I'm putting it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean,
that's a fact. Facts. That's a fact.
If I drain all of my stuff, my endorphins of and waste all of my endorphins on something that's just random, a consumption of something to make me feel good. Wow, I want to watch this video for 18 hours, watch this whole series, this Netflix series. I'm not saying I don't do it. I've done it. That's why I'm trying to talk about it. I've gone on Game of Thrones, Netflix series, things I like. HBO, when The Sopranos were out on HBO, I binge watched that whole thing.
Yeah.
Every day. It was so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Pleasure. I wasn't thinking about
nothing.
My future.
Locked in.
I wasn't thinking about saving money. I'm just watching this show. What, am I worried about anything?
Yeah.
Nope, just watching this
Time
show.
just flying by. I asked this question because when I was working at the baseball center, I seen the kid he had a terrible round. It was front toss. So he was 15 years old in high school. I told him, on that front toss, you got to be at least 8 out of 10, bro. Minimum. There has to be a goal. You know what I'm saying?
For front toss?
For front toss.
Yeah, you can't be swinging a missile.
So he caught one bomb, right? So I go home, you know what I'm saying? I take a shower laying down. I seen the video clip. He definitely cropped the beginning. Definitely cropped the end.
Right.
And it was that one crack. Comment, wow, fire emoji, goat emoji. And I'm like, yo, if I would have, I could have flinged this kid right now. But I'm a grown man. I'm not going to say nothing.
Right.
But the next time I saw him, I pulled his card. I said, bro, that was a good round that day. And he just didn't say nothing. But it's just like, bro, like, you really not putting in the, like, if you really going to take it serious, and post the whole round.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or actually take the information I'm getting to you as your instructor and get better. But
I think kids,
it's the highlight reel.
Again, they're searching for that validation, and it's not a good place for our society in general to be.
No.
A bunch of young men that feel invisible.
Yeah.
That are looking for ways that other people to validate who they are.
Yeah. Yankees or Mets?
Yankees. You crazy?
Lindor or Correa?
Lindor.
A-Rod or Jeter?
Come on now, Jeter.
Yeah. Sammy Sosa or Mark McGwire?
Well, I'm going with McGwire.
Okay. Little McDonald's land over there in St. Louis?
Yeah, just the fact, because Sammy got weird, man.
Yeah,
Like,
Sammy got weird. Sammy got weird.
He lost feel.
Yeah,
McGwire,
he lost feel.
Yeah, he took some juice, but he didn't lose feel. If you talk to Mark McGwire today, he's still probably going to tell you how it is. And
Yeah. Cal Ripken or Chipper Jones?
Oh, man, I like Cal Ripken went hard.
Yeah.
And he played in that era where everybody's trying to break his leg on every double play.
Yeah.
And he still played all those games.
Yeah.
And nowadays, guys play 3 games in a row and they get a day off.
Yeah.
You can't have any contact anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't ever say, how did that guy play all those games in a row when it was so much more vicious?
Yeah.
Guys trying to cleat you, actively hurt you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's crazy. Define stay crispy.
Stay crispy is a mindset.
Yes.
I think a lot of people get it a little bit, they get it confused. So crispy is just something I used to say when I was 16, 17 with a couple of my friends. You come out of the house, you got wife beater, you got a little gold chain, fade perfect, right? Hair slicked back, some Z Cavaricis or some Guess jeans. I don't know what, whatever choice of attire is.
Yeah.
Some Pro Keds or some Skippies or something, bone white, Nikes or whatever you were wearing.
Yeah.
But you were crispy from head to toe.
Crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, you look crispy. Man, that shirt is crispy.
Yeah.
Right? And it just kind of morphed into whatever you do, care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
When you throw the ball on a strikeout around the horn, be crispy with it. Right? Don't lob the ball around.
Yeah.
Don't do that. No. That's not crispy at all.
So what does baseball mean to you?
Baseball means a lot. Baseball changed my life, and baseball gave me a feeling that I couldn't get anywhere else. Yeah. There was a lot of times I was hopeless. Yeah. Thinking and that's not a good place to be. Yeah. And also extremely concerned with what I was gonna do in life. Yeah. And my life took different paths, but I always reverted back to, that's one of the things that I really try to focus with my guys. I think that a lot of coaches, and I was one of those guys in the very beginning, that thought that the whole point of coaching is to create big leaguers. Mm-hmm. That's the point, right? If I'm coaching young guys, the whole point is to get them to Vanderbilt. Yeah. Get them to the top school, or whatever you think the top school is, some brand name school. Mm-hmm. Get them drafted, get them to the big leagues. That's the whole point. And as I started, to really figure out what my purpose was, and I realized that's not my purpose. Yeah. That's not why I'm here. Mm-hmm. I'm here because I was given a feeling of confidence in myself from the game that took me to a place where I didn't have to worry about how much money I had, if I was getting bullied that day, if, and other kids or whoever it is that are out there, baseball's that place that if your father's an alcoholic, you have a learning disability, you go out on the field, nobody cares about that. Yeah. They might care about that in your social little circle or whatever, and guys might be able to say this and that at school about and talk whatever type of stuff behind anybody's back or trash you whenever they want. But once you get on the field, all that disappears. Yeah. Now it's just me and you. Mm-hmm. Can you play with me out here? Yep. Right? Yeah. And so I feel like as an escape route to a lot of dysfunctional stuff in the way that I was growing up, I feel like it changed the way that I viewed the way I looked. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Yeah. That's important. And I think for the kids what I try to do now, I don't try to get guys to be all first rounders. And I coached a couple of kids that that were first rounders.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you try to make it all about that, I lose sight of what the real purpose is.
Yeah.
It's to instill the feeling that I got to the kid that's struggling for in whatever aspect of his life, and he's got so many pressures mounted on him to go. You're gonna be the first kid to ever go to college in our family.
Yeah.
What? What if I don't make it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a failure.
Yeah.
You know, there's a zen about it. There's a chaos about the game itself. It's like, you know, how do you find the beauty in the struggle?
Yeah.
How do you deal with, you know, going 0 for 25 and not quitting?
Yeah.
When every single, you know, if you get into a situation like that, especially if you haven't ever experienced that, you get to a point where you're like, why am I swinging and I'm not making contact?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So with that being said, do you have any advice for my guy Aaron Hicks?
Yeah, I got advice. And I've hit with Hicks a couple of times.
Yeah.
Never made any major adjustments to his swing. We just hit together.
Yeah.
I hit with Judge and Hicks. I hit with Hicks by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I hit with, I think, who else? Tyler Wade. Was Tyler Wade out there? No, Mike Ford.
Mike Ford.
Yankees.
Yeah, he's in Seattle. No, he's in Anaheim now.
Yeah, Dylan Betances came out to throw live ABs. That was a fun day. It was a lot of guys that were out there. Hicks, I feel like, has a little bit of push back, like lengthening his front arm, and then pulling backwards. That's what it looks like when I watch it on video.
Yeah.
It looks like he's pushing back, and then in order to not be late, try to yank a ball this way, and so come back early. It's like he's pulling with his front shoulder.
Yeah.
He has the athletic ability, I believe, to have a swing that looks like Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like his swing should look like.
Yeah.
Because the dude's a freak athlete. If you really are around him and see how he moves and stuff like that, he's pretty synced up. And especially a couple years ago, he's getting maybe a little bit older. I would have 32 or something, 33 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, and I'm not sure if it's an approach thing. And now listen, there's a lot of people that will judge a guy like that and shit on them. I don't do that to a point. I do think asking for help is a big part of making an adjustment.
Yes.
It's hard when you get to that level.
Yeah.
And you talk to those guys. It's extremely difficult, I think, for those guys to ask for help.
Yeah.
In the minor leagues, it looks like if you had a pie chart or like one of those graphs, a graph to show you like, this is the coaching is this valuable in the minor leagues. Players are here. Coaches still have a little bit of like direction, telling you what to do and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as this player makes it to the big leagues and he's making more money than the coach and all that stuff, it's like now the coaches, they're still valued, but you're going to tell a guy making $300 million something wrong he doesn't like, or you tell him to do something and he ends up trying it out and he goes 0 for 30 and he ends up blaming it on you.
Yeah.
That's kind of stuff, you know, hey, this dude he got my head, he domed my holes. I don't know, get him away from me.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do?
Clip you. Fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now it's like, hey, he made it to the big leagues. He's lit.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. Let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing.
So when you do that, and Aaron Hicks, he's batting third for the Yankees playing center field, playing in the same spot Mickey Mantle's playing.
Yeah.
I never signed a pro contract. So, you know, can I tell you what I'm looking at on video? Yeah, I've studied enough and looked at enough and watched enough at bats and done that type of stuff and put in over a decade of work looking and researching and finding out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that regardless of what me and you and every fan out there thinks, the Yankees front office may very well be telling him, keep doing what you're doing. Now I don't think they are. Now it's different. But if that whole last couple of years where it's like struggle, this and that, but it's like, hey, what about his OBP? And what about this? His OPS or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They valued certain numbers over other numbers. And that's why you also saw, even when Gallo and Hicks this year were both struggling, nobody, even though fans were like, what are these guys doing in the lineup? They don't hit, striking out all the time. The Yankees front office doesn't care about that. You're up 16 and a half games.
Yeah.
Right? What do they care if two guys are? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Be grateful as a Yankee fan because we're up 16 and a half games. Now, once you see the struggle,
Yeah, now
start
it's
to go
more
back.
magnified. Yeah.
Now everything gets magnified, and now people go, okay, we're going to try some different things in line. We're calling up some guys, we're trying to make moves.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to. So, how did you get so good at nicknames?
I think I guess in Coney Island, it always like the guys always. There was always a nickname for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Egg Rolls, because the kid likes Chinese food.
Yeah,
So they just
yeah.
call him Anthony Egg Rolls. Or
Yeah.
Frankie Eyelashes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all these little
Yeah.
Joey Coffee Cakes,
Yeah.
right? Some of them are it comes to mind. I like it because it's just something weird about my brain, I guess you want to say, is when I see people. When I saw you,
Yeah.
I see sometimes other people memories that flashed in my mind from I'm a
Yeah.
big movie guy. I like movies. So a lot of times people remind me of movies, the sports. People, when I see celebrities and rappers and all this stuff,
Yeah.
people remind me of those people based on whatever.
Yeah.
Could be the personality, but that's why, Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like the idea of giving people nicknames too, because it's one more level of relationship difference.
Yeah.
You can't call me a nickname if I just meet you on the street today.
Yeah.
Right? That's not okay.
That's right.
You know, you haven't earned that right to call me. You got to call me Ferb. You can call me Ferbs. So sometimes, if it takes some time to give somebody a nickname,
Yeah.
right? To see them and be like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
see how they
see how they move and
move.
stuff like that. And it's like, hey man, you know who you remind me of?
Yeah.
Right? And you see how they react. Go, oh, okay, yeah.
How much has social media impacted your life?
It's impacted it quite a bit. I don't think that I mean, the crazy part about the social media aspect of it is if it was gone, I don't believe I would just crumble into the abyss or
Yeah.
be depressed or anything like that. I'd be mad probably. Now, because I know it, because it happened. About 80,000 or 90,000 followers I had, my page got hacked.
Yeah.
So I experienced for like 2 weeks what it was like to work that hard, to put in that much time. I wasn't so much concerned with the followers because I wasn't making money off of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed for money.
Yeah.
It was designed to communicate to my team,
Yeah.
the kids that I was playing. So I never did it for money.
Yeah.
And so I think that helped. I think
Yeah.
that if I designed the page to make money, that would have a larger impact if you lost it,
Yeah.
right?
Right. So we're both coaches, so what does coaching mean to you?
Coaching is the ability to, I think, give a younger version of yourself a different path a little bit.
Yeah.
I made it to this level. This is where I struggled and I stopped.
Yeah.
I want to get you a little bit further.
Yeah.
I don't have to get you to the big leagues, but I went right here and this didn't work.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you go left, see if that works.
Yeah. What was your highest level?
College,
College.
junior college in California, Kenyatta College. I played a couple of years of independent ball in Oakland when I was living out there at the time. What's his name? Actually, Jimmy Rollins' brother was he was a good ball player.
Yeah.
People don't know about him. Jimmy Rollins' brother. He's taller than him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Wow. So what makes a good coach?
I think what makes a good coach is being open-minded and knowing your players well enough to know what buttons you got to press. Who needs to get picked up and get a hug, and who needs to get blown up and get checked. And the different personalities. And again, go back to having feel.
Yeah.
If I try to treat every single kid on my team the same way, because that's what I feel I have to do to be fair, then that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get to be the coach that is the monotone, talk to everybody the same way, do what I do, and some guys will respond to it and other guys won't.
Yeah.
And if I try to adapt to each player based on maybe his strengths, his weaknesses, how he sees the game. If you try to treat every player the same, which I see a lot of coaches do,
Yeah.
I don't know you get the most out of your team for winning.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example that has nothing to do with how much knowledge coaches have.
Yeah.
Right? Say a kid goes to high school, right?
Yeah.
And you're on the high school team. You know a kid that plays, he's the quarterback of the football team, okay? You know him. He's your boy, but he's not really into baseball, but he's nasty.
Yeah.
He can throw hard and he can hit. He's an athlete,
Yeah.
right? So you love to play. You want to get your team better. So you and your boys, hey, we got to get Tony, the quarterback, we need to get him on the squad this year.
Yeah.
We need an extra guy. We need an outfielder and a dude that can throw a couple of innings, and he can throw 88. So we need to get him out here.
Yeah.
Right? You guys start approaching him.
Yeah.
Tony, yo, you gotta come do it. Man, come on, man. I'm not into baseball. And then you guys get him finally and say, man, stop, help us out.
Yeah.
We need your help. All right, man, I'll do it. So that kid comes out to practice the first day. He makes the team or whatever. Everybody, hey, let's go. If the coach treats him, a lot of coaches, the coach that thinks I need to get everybody to the big leagues. My job here, because I failed as a player, so now my job, and some coaches, they think because of it was their dream, that it's everybody's dream.
Yeah.
That kid that was on a football team that just played because he's playing, you're not going to get the same production out of that kid if you treat him. He's just going to be like, I don't need this, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out, yeah. Yeah, you made no connection. So what do your players mean to you?
They mean a lot, man. I mean, they represent, the morals and the expectations that I have. They understand that if they do something in public or if they do something really in private, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a reflection on me.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one out there putting referrals out for every one of them. So if I'm putting referrals for you for a job at this college to do something, and you end up drinking and driving and or doing something silly like that, that's a reflection on me.
Yeah.
I thought you said he was a good student, Ferbs.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Cool. Tell us about your proudest coaching moment.
Proudest coaching moment?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a tough one, Zoe. You're going to have me come back to that because I'm going to take too much time thinking about that. There's so many proud moments.
Is travel ball getting too serious too soon?
Yes. It's gotten worse. And if anybody thinks it's going to be getting better before it gets more worse, they're wrong. If it is what it is right now, in 10 years, you think it's going to be getting better than it is now?
Yeah.
It's completely fallen down a rabbit hole of people not caring anything about development, of people basically just running scripts and telling people what they want to hear, and it being nothing like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's no background check.
No.
To any coach anywhere. You could do a 20-year bid in Attica, come out today, right, after two murder charges, and so you got multiple bodies on your rap sheet, and you're a career criminal. You come out of jail and you say, what can I do now? Oh, you know what? I like baseball, right? What do I have to do to start a team? Just get one of your boys to draw a picture of a logo. Yeah, we'll call it that. Get somebody to front you some money for some uniforms. Grab some kids out in the park. Go have a tryout. Put it on social media. Hey, we're trying out. People come to the tryout. Now you got your team.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody asked anything about your background. Where you been? Who are you?
Yeah.
People, it's crazy. Parents, I watch them. They will look at these colleges for the whole college process. They'll do all this research. Ask all these questions. Well, when's the last time they were at what's the degree worth from the college? What's an average salary from a person in the first 5 years after graduating from Duke rather than West Virginia, rather than Maryland, right? Mm-hmm. They do all this research.
Yeah.
Who are the coaches? What are their backgrounds? When did they move here? When's the last time? How long have they been there?
Yeah.
All this research, right, Zoe? Travel team? Now it's the same thing. You want to be there for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
It's like a 3 or 4 year experience college.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with going into high school. Well, they do it with high school too. What private school should I send? Is it public school? Do they have tutors to help my son? How much support do they have? What are the kids' graduation rates? They look at all this stuff. Travel team? I don't know who the guy is. Yeah, go play.
Yeah. It could be anybody. That's true. So why create the Real Ballers organization?
I created Real Ballers because I was working for another organization that, real simple, I felt like I could do it better. I could connect with people better. I felt like I could treat people better.
Yeah.
I felt like I could evaluate players better. I felt like I could develop players better. And basically, when you're working for somebody else, you can be fired.
Yeah.
I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
Being able to just walk in one day and say, "Oh yeah, we don't need you anymore." So that was one, and the other one was I just I felt when you give suggestions over and over of really wanting to help, I want to make this experience the best for the players.
Yeah.
And you give the organization that you work for suggestions. We should do this. We should bring in a couple of Dominican players and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All these players look just like this. Let's mix it up. Well, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
I felt like I could I wanted to do things and I didn't want my things to be a suggestion. If I wanted to do something, I wanted to do it. So
yeah.
I finished with them. I didn't do anything like take a team, steal players. No, nothing like that, right? And that's one way that people do it. I think a lot of times
I think 9 times out of 10 it goes that way.
that's how it goes because coaches are really undervalued, I believe.
Yes.
And they're
Talk about it.
underpaid. They're not appreciated. And I think that the owners of the baseball, a lot of the baseball organizations tend to take advantage of the coaches because they go, well, if he leaves, I'll just grab another guy out of college or some young guy will fill his spot. Instead of investing back into that coach and promoting guys from within and giving guys, a certain amount of ability to make decisions and creative ability.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
So what are players looking to get out of the organization?
Well, there's 3 things that I try to focus on the most. One is, are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying your baseball experience? That's the number one thing. If you're not enjoying it, I really don't know. I wouldn't go much further than that.
Yeah.
After that, it's, are you getting quality instruction? Is the things that, are you getting an individual development plan? Do you know what parts of your game need to be improved in order for you to get better? What is the feedback you're getting? Or are you just showing up every week and nobody's saying anything?
Yeah.
Hey man, you need to hit more line drives. Really? Thanks. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You got to throw more strikes.
Yeah.
Really? Well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Go to a pitching coach. Well, what? You know what I mean? So those 2 things are very important. But I think the third part is obviously exposure to the next level.
Yeah.
So if you have those 3 things covered, I think in any team, you're enjoying their time. They're woken up. They're motivated to get to work. They love practice as much as they love to play. They are getting quality instruction that's coming from higher levels. And they're getting exposure to the next level depending on what that level is. If it's the pro level, okay. If it's the college level, regardless, what's next?
Yeah. All right. I need some name drops now.
Okay.
So we're going to name drop some colleges that Real Ballers are at. Go for it. Where we at?
I mean, I think I got right now there's about 35 or 40 guys playing currently in NCAA. I think the guys that I've worked with over the past 10 years, there's guys at the pro level. Well, we won't start with the big leagues and at the pro level, but I have guys at Vanderbilt, Troy Leneve. There's guys at UVA,
Cavaliers,
Duke, UNC. There's guys at, I mean, man, there's a lot of guys. There's guys all over the place, really. There's Notre Dame. I mean, all over the ACC, Wake Forest. Well, Jose Torres was at NC State. He got drafted. So he's with the Reds. He got drafted in the 3rd round. But yeah, there's just and it's not just the big time schools like that. I got guys at military schools, West Point,
Yeah.
Army, that type of thing, Ivy League schools, Patriot League schools, ones with real good high academics. I have a real wide range of
Yeah.
a network of kids out there.
So does division matter?
It matters. I mean, but it's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
I mean, it matters based on where you're at in your life and what's your particular, what's good for one guy might be terrible for another guy.
Yes.
If you're a kid that is very, behind, let's just say, on knowing how to wash and fold your clothes and cook, sometimes it's not a bad route to go to a junior college and learn how to do that.
Yeah.
If the grades, if the workload is going to overwhelm you at a big time university or a really high academic university, and it's going to cause you a lot more problems, maybe that's not the best for you.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing because kids need to be able to survive and get used to the school socially and other things like laundry, fending for yourself, liking the environment. Like, if you can't play the sport, do you like the school? Like, could you see yourself there for 4 years? Like, there's other factors that go into it.
That's the number one rule of going of college recruitment.
Yeah.
Is if baseball did not exist, if it ceased to exist, would you still like it there?
Yeah. Absolutely. Define launch angle.
Launch angle is basically the direction that the ball comes off of the barrel of your bat.
Yeah.
So anytime I make contact with a ball, it's going to have an angle that it comes off. It's a mathematical, whatever formula or whatever you want to say. It's an equation.
Yeah.
That just is, if it's a ground ball, it could be a negative launch angle. If it's 0 degrees off the ground, perfect, like on the horizon, it could be that. And then it just goes up or down depending on where you make contact.
So do you feel, is it hurting or helping young hitters?
Now, you're talking about trying to lift balls. You're talking about launch angle. You're talking what people say. See, that's some of the confusion is some people talk about launch angle swings.
Yeah.
And what they mean, those guys that are saying, hey, it's a launch angle swing, they mean the guy's trying to intentionally lift the baseball and hit it up in the air.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, it's a confusing thing because launch angle itself doesn't mean trying to lift it in the air, but a lot of people do believe that's what it is.
This is what they do in poetry slams.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
So for the young hitters,
Yeah.
is it hurting or helping?
Well, if you're putting a blanket statement on, it's tough. There's so many variables to it. I would say when people just talk about launch angle, you have to talk about exit velocity. You can't talk about one without talking about the other, or you're going to miss the whole point.
Yeah.
Because I think if you hit a ball at, I want to say 28 degrees, and it is 92 miles an hour off your bat, okay? It's a homer in almost any MLB stadium. 28 and 92 or 93, something in that range. Don't quote me exactly, but it's around that.
Yeah.
If you hit it on a 28-degree angle and when you swing the bat, it comes off at 80 miles an hour, that's an out. Right? So you can't talk about what angle it's coming off your bat unless you talk about how fast it's coming off.
Yeah.
So for the guys that I work with, the younger guys that are not hitting balls that are going to leave the yard or burn outfielders, I'm focusing more on lower line drives that are going to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
And keep them with opportunities to get on the field. The guys that start to get bigger, 15, 16, 17, they start to get some body awareness. They're hitting the ball hard enough to actually burn an outfielder.
Yeah.
Now we can start talking about things that have to do with, well, how do I get to the next level?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely, I got to show, like being a corner outfielder, I got to show the ability to be able to hit a ball
Yeah.
Burn an outfielder,
Mhm.
right?
For sure. So part of academics, do grades matter?
Grades matter a tremendous amount. Grades, we want options.
Yeah.
That's ideally what we all want, and especially going to the college thing, you want options, and that's a very simple equation.
Yeah. Do you need good grades to play for you?
Oh yeah, you have to have a 3.0 GPA is the minimum or you're ineligible. In my program, I only have one team. I used to have three.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of teams. I found out that wasn't what I wanted. It seemed like I had more problems. Once I got to one team, so I can manage this. I can have those relationships. I can talk to guys throughout the week and create these relationships. This is what it should feel like. Yeah. And so they all know that. And most of my guys are like, some of my guys are really smart. I get a kid, Will Harrigan, he just committed to Columbia. Wow. He got a 4.2 GPA with AP classes through the roof. Yeah. He's really good. He's going to Columbia, go get a degree. He's probably going to make $100,000 a year when he come right out of school. Wow.
That's a beautiful thing.
It ain't matter.
How do you manage relationships with players, parents, players?
With the parents?
Yes.
That's a really good question. You try to set forth some boundaries in the beginning and say, this is what's okay and this is what's not okay. Mm-hmm. I put in 24-hour rules, meaning you can't talk to me about anything that has to do in the game that you've deemed negative, that you saw as negative for 24 hours. Okay. Because people's emotions usually after 24 hours is going to die down. Whatever they were feeling at that very moment and how they want to talk to you about, how come my son wasn't playing short? How come he was at second base? In a day, that doesn't seem as important. Yeah. Because they get involved with their other daily life or whatever. So they come back and talk to you. Oh, and oftentimes with the 24-hour rule, a lot of parents will just go, that's all good. I'll speak to you next time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Allow a little grace period.
Yeah, but right after the game, people feel insecure based on how their kid performed. Yeah. People feel really good based on how their kid performed. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy how somebody that has nothing to do with the field and what's going on in the game can feel what their kid is feeling. And if their kid goes home 0 for 3 moping in the car, they have a bad day.
I want to give, so I'm gonna say one of my players. I won't say his name, but I'm gonna show him this clip. This kid was an infielder last year, struggled a little bit, has become a pretty solid center fielder. Right. But he still has his eyes on shortstop. And his mom comes up after practice. She's like, hey, I know Mason really likes center field, but, he wants to, can he get a try at shortstop? And I'm like, he's our best outfielder. So, what advice would you give Mason? Oh, I said his name. It's Mason. Okay, it's okay. What advice would you give Mason?
What I would tell him is that it's good to be in that mindset of I can do whatever I want and I'll prove everybody wrong. Yeah. But when you get to the numbers, and because the game is has finite statistics and numbers and data, it's easy. If you want to go play at this school, Vanderbilt, LSU, whoever you're saying you want to go, at that level, they know that a runner runs from home plate to first base in this amount of time. Very simple, right? And it's a lot faster than what you're making the play in right now. Yeah. If you can't, from the time it hits the bat, the ball hits the bat, whether it's a smoked at you or it's a 2 or 3 hops to you, if you can't make it to first base from off the bat in 4.1 seconds, that play, complete it, off the bat, starts the clock, at first base, ends the clock. If you can't do it in 4.1 and you're at 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, 5.0, you're finished. Yeah. You're already finished, regardless of how strong your arm is. Because some guys shorten it from their feet. They're very good with their feet. Some guys are good with their transfer and they're real smooth with the hands, right? And their exchanges. Some guys are good with transitions, their angles they take and their strides and transitions. Yeah. And some guys have a really strong arm, they rely on it. You know what I mean, Zo? Yeah. So regardless of all that, if you can't make the play in that kind of time, then you can tell yourself, maybe I can go to the outfield and use my athleticism in a different way.
Yeah. Beautiful. If there was a Real Ballers Hall of Fame, who would be inducted today?
Bobby Whalen, Jose Torres, Ben Greenspan, Chris Klein, guys that Alex Bauman, kids that I worked with at young ages. There would be definitely some. There would definitely be Matt Wyatt.
Yeah.
I would have to think about it.
Yeah.
These are names that are just coming from the top of my head, but these are definitely guys that I think would make it. Parker Lamb is a catcher.
Yeah.
Jordan Ukevich would be in Hall of Fame, even though he's not even playing baseball anymore.
Yeah.
But there's guys, because you're talking about guys that they just exemplified the standards, that you hold dear to whatever it is that you value when you see a kid play baseball.
Yeah.
And how he went about his business on the field and off the field.
Yeah.
What kind of a teammate he was and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, Real Ball's Hall of Fame. You heard it here first.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Fact. So we're going to break down the last 3 questions. So we're going to start off with a message to your younger self.
A message to my younger self would be, and that's a good one too. So the message to my younger self. Some of these things, I feel like if you spit out right away what it is, it's not truthful. It's not coming from your heart.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that I would have told my younger self. But I think taking suggestions from other people and not being so hard-headed would have caused me a lot less suffering.
Yeah. I hear
over time.
Yeah.
I mean, not just because it's really hard to see yourself in a picture when you're inside the frame.
Yeah.
It's much easier for you as my friend to see what I'm doing wrong in my life, right? And be able to say, hey man, look, if all you did was just stop buying Jordans every single day, you'd have money.
Yeah.
And I go, man, that's not my problem. Hold up, I gotta get a Foot Locker real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It goes with anything in life.
Yeah.
It's hard, but when you're in that mindset of I don't need anybody, I don't need help from anybody, I'm my own man, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to ask for help. That's what I would have said. I would have asked for help more.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I would have taken suggestions. I would have had more of an open mind. I would have asked for help on the situations that I needed help on. I wouldn't have been so prideful.
Yeah.
Said, I can do it. I don't need anybody.
Absolutely.
And so that's probably what I told my younger self.
Beautiful. Message to the youth.
Message to the youth is, how young you talking?
I think right now, between like 12 and 18.
12 and 18. Well, for the 12-year-old, I would say great baseball players have great imaginations.
Yes.
And picture yourself not just being Mike Trout, but being better than him.
Yeah.
And, that's what's, I think sometimes coaches at that age don't realize. Is that my job is to keep his imagination intact.
Yes.
That's what my job is at that age.
Yes.
My job is not to flame him and violate him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Make him quit baseball. Tell him how he'll never do anything with his life.
Mm-hmm.
My job is, because it only takes one coach to do that too.
Yeah.
It takes one coach to make it, man, what an unbelievable experience, man. The memories is crazy, man. I remember that guy my whole life. And there's other coaches that I said, man, I would spit on that guy's face if I saw him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spit on him if he was on fire.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with baseball. It has to do with what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say is that if a kid has, at 12 years old, plays for me for 1 year, and by the time he is finished, I'm finished coaching him for a year.
Yeah.
He doesn't love to practice as much as he loves to play. If he's not thoroughly enjoying himself, I failed. That's it. That's for me personally.
Yeah.
Other people don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
I feel like if a kid has has come and he's worked with me and he's wanted to come and be a baseball player. And I've been there for a year with him. He spent that much time with him. And at the end of that time, his imagination isn't still intact. He still just loves waking up in the morning saying, what am I doing today? I'm taking ground balls. Let's go.
Yeah.
What am I doing today? Oh, I'm in the mirror right now. I just passed it in my house. I'm checking my swing.
Yeah.
If he's not doing those type of things, calling, looking at video of his swing, thinking about the next thing and everything like that, then I'm not doing my job, because my job is to keep that kid's imagination intact.
Yeah.
And keep him loving the game and just pass him off to the next coach.
Yeah.
And hopefully that guy continues.
Yeah.
Until at least the guy gets to 15, 16, 17, he can make some better decisions himself on am I really want to dedicate my entire life to this whole thing?
Yeah.
Or is it just something I like doing? I don't love it. Nothing wrong with that either.
So this is a perfect time because a lot of freshmen right now are in fall ball. So they went from their, high school season to college, to not college summer ball, maybe college summer ball, to summer ball, and now they're a freshman in college. So, what advice would you give those college freshmen?
The college freshmen?
Yeah.
Well, the college freshmen, I think they're in being able to transition from high school to college means understanding that, I know I'm a good ball player. I'm confident in my skills.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily need me like they used to.
Yeah.
My high school needed me.
Yeah.
They needed me to show up. There was a major, major impact in the lineup. If I wasn't there, we only had 20 guys on the team.
Yeah.
Now I got 35, 40 guys out here.
Yeah.
Guys that are 4 years older than me. I got an All-American that's playing at my position in front of me who just hit 20 bombs last year. Right?
Yeah.
Man, I need to readjust my own skill set. I need to figure out my skill set, where my own skill set's gonna fit in their system.
Yeah.
I can't be that kid that says, I only want to play center field. Well, left field or just mope around. You want to play left field or you want to mope?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Because if you want to mope, just get your shit and get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, if you are like that and you can't accept somebody giving you a suggestion, that's when you see people jump in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm out. Where you going? I don't know. Anywhere but here. But even if you change geography and you change locations, does that fix your personality?
Yeah.
Does that fix how you go about your business? Not really. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
That's one thing I would really stress to kids. What is it that you're actually looking for?
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for a perfect baseball experience, you'll never find it.
Yeah. It doesn't exist.
So what do you want out of it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. First I thought I wanted to just post something on Instagram, say I'm a good athlete. A couple of girls would like me.
Yeah.
My friends would say, oh, he's a Division I athlete. Okay, now what? What do you want now?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to be a pro? No, I don't know. I'm good. Okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you know what you want, I think it's gonna, it's gonna impact.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna impact it much. It's gonna impact your direction and how you go about it a lot different.
Yeah. So this is gonna drop this week. This episode will drop Sunday. We'll be doing some collabs next week. Dropping this fire content. Definitely gonna drop a promo clip Sunday night. But Coach Ferber, thank you so much for your time. We miss you on the East Coast, but it's always love on this side.
Appreciate you having me, Zoe.
Make sure everyone likes, subscribes, comment. Go follow my guy, Coach Ferber, for lit content, crispy seeds, and everything is authentic. I appreciate you, Coach.
Much love, Zoe.
Hey,
go follow him, Coach Zoe Podcast. Stay crispy out there, Playboys.